Hey everybody, Erica Serwin here with my training this time. This time around, I decided I really wanted to talk about online bingo. There had been some chatter online, lots of questions about how to do an online bingo, and it's something that I have really worked on perfecting over the last few years. I, many years ago, took a training from Rhonda Wade on how to do a Stampin' Bingo. And I did those in person, and they were huge success here locally. And all of my online customers were begging, how can we play bingo too? We want to play also. So I very nervously decided to try it. I put lots of disclaimers out there, this is technology, we're going to try it, we're going to see how it works. And it worked beautifully. And they loved it and they begged for me to do more of them. So I have done about probably 8 online bingos now. Quite a few. I do them twice a year. And now, when I first started doing them, there was no Facebook Live. I was doing them calling numbers in the comment section, and they would say bingo in the comment section of a post on Facebook. So now that we have live, Facebook Live, that's how I've been doing them. So I'm going to go through how I do it. Of course, I'm sure there are a myriad of ways that you could do this, but I'm going to kind of show you how I do it and how it's been a success in my business. All right, I'm going to switch you guys over. Let's go back to the beginning. This is Stampin' Bingo Online. So first off, you may be asking, what is Stampin' Bingo? That sounds kind of weird. And you guys, it's just bingo. All the prizes are Stampin' Up! Products. At my local bingos, we play, let's see if I can just adjust this a bit. We play 8 games. We play 8 games of bingo. We do 4 make and takes. I have door prizes, and I hold it once or twice a year. I typically hold it between Christmas and New Year's, that weird week, where you don't know what day it is. I do it then. That helps my December sales. And then I do it again in May, in that weird time when the catalog hasn't come out. We're all just like biding our time waiting to order from the new catalog. It helps my sales in May. So that's when I do them both locally and now online. So how do you do a Stampin' Bingo online? There's really 2 ways that I have seen it done. Facebook Live is how I do it. I create a private Facebook group, and everyone who registers, I add them into the group, and it's private. No one, when you set up a group, it asks you what kind of group you want, and I always say secret. That way nobody can see it. You won't have people trying to request to join. At the time of the event, when you go live in a live video and you call the bingo numbers out, and I turn my camera down, you'll see in a little bit, so that they can actually see the numbers that I'm calling. And they, when they have bingo, they call bingo in the comment section. They type bingo and I watch. Now there's a delay, so I have to kind of go a little bit slower and watch. But it works out beautifully. It has worked out just wonderfully. I cut the number of games down. I actually do 5 games just for time's sake. It takes a little bit longer. It's a little more, tedious because you're doing it online. Now the other option is a Zoom call, and this is how I've played bingo with my team. You give everyone the link to log in at the time of the event. It costs money. Zoom costs money if you go longer than 40 minutes. And it can be a little more chaotic because of noise and visual distractions. I find I'm a little more confused when I do a Zoom call because I can see everybody. I can see them talking to people in the room and waving their hands, and I think they've called bingo, or I miss them and I keep going. So I prefer to just do it by Facebook Live. That way I can't hear or see them. They can hear or see me. And then they just type when they've gotten bingo. So I set my budget up as it shows right here. I always include a swag bag of products. That's how you're going to get your sales. Even if they don't order that night, they are paying you ahead of time, so you're going to put in an order for at least $20 in product per person. I budget $5 for the make and takes. I budget $10 for prizes, and then I budget at least $7.80, that's a padded flat rate envelope, to ship their kit to them, plus another $5 to cover the shipping of the prizes later and that PayPal fee. My online bingo cost $49. prizes. So what do you pick as prizes? I try to keep first in mind things that will be exciting. First of all, it's not retired product, it's not used product, it's brand new product. You have charged them $10 already to cover prizes. So if you had 10 people register, you have $100 to spend on prizes. If I played 4 or 5 games, the prizes would be valued between $20 and $25. I also, just a caveat, I have a lot of stamp and rewards from other things that I will buy prizes randomly here and there using that. So my prizes might be a little bit more than $25, but if you don't have that, use that $100 as your budget for prices, and you can get things that go together, like the Gingham Gala DSP with the Gingham Gala sequins. That could be a prize. But remember, you'll also have stamp and rewards from the swag bag products. If you had 10 people, their swag bag, whatever product you're ordering for them, equals $200 plus the prizes, which is another $100, and that's giving you another $36 to spend on prizes. I typically use that for door prizes. When you choose prizes, you need to think of shipping cost. A stamp set and an accessory can ship in just a regular padded mailer for between $3 and $4. If you get a punch or a kit, or like a big shot, it is going to cost you a fortune to ship those. So keep that in mind. So what supplies do you need? Well, you're going to need bingo cards for each person. In their kit ahead of time, I send them 2 bingo cards, and this is the picture of the ones that I use. They are from Amazon. They're little tear-off packs. They're like disposable bingo cards. You get 100 of them for $5.40. Before I ship them, I make a copy. I write their name at the top of each of their bingo cards, and I use my printer has a scanner on it, and I scan all their cards. That way, if they get lost, I can email it to them. Like if their package doesn't arrive in time, they can still play bingo. They may not be able to make the make and takes that night, but they can play bingo because I can email them a copy of their card. You can also print them off from websites. I'm going to show you at the end a website where you can generate bingo cards. You also need some way to call the numbers. And I got these at the way back in the day when I started doing the Stampin' Bingo. I found these on Amazon, and they're called playing card bingo numbers. They're big, and they're the size of a playing card. And when I use them on Bingo to Go, when I'm doing a live video, I have them laid out there so they can see. Because you know how Facebook Live will glitch out sometimes and kind of skip like 10 seconds? They won't miss anything because I'm laying them out and they can see them. So I will lay my current number here and then move the next one here. And then when I call another one, I go ahead and move that one up and move this one over. So they can kind of keep an eye on the last 2 numbers that I've called. Sometimes I even do 3 here. So they can, if there's any of those weird technology glitches, they can visually see what I've called. Here on Amazon, they're called Professional Deck of Bingo Playing Cards, $5.45. So the other supplies you need is internet. Good internet, you guys. You don't want to glitch out. You don't want to drop them. This is something where you really need to make sure you have a good internet connection. You want a list of the rules. You want to make sure that they know the rules before you play. You want to get all their names, cut them up, put them in a cup so you can draw for bingo prizes. And I always make sure I have tape with me because I need to tape it to the prize. Otherwise, I'm going to completely forget who won what. And then a script or an agenda. This kind of helps me calm my nerves. If I have everything typed out, things I want to remember to say, remember when to draw door prizes, I have just a little outline right next to me the whole time so that I'm keeping on track and I'm not forgetting anything. You know, they've paid money. I want to make sure that they are getting a good event where they feel like I was organized and prepared for them. So having a little agenda and a script for you really helps make sure that you look professional when you're doing this. Every game that I play is a 5 in a row, up, down, or cross. On online bingo, you have to keep it simple. I found that I couldn't remember to tell them what we were playing. And it would be halfway through the game and they're like, are we playing 5 in a row, 4 corners, what are we playing? So I just flat up at the top told them it's all 5 in a row. The first person to type bingo in the comments is the winner, if their numbers are correct. Sometimes someone will call bingo, and then right after that, somebody else calls bingo. So I always say the first person who typed it is the winner. Now that second person, if they also got bingo, I have a little pile of secondary prizes for them. Maybe some extra celebration sets that I have, or some other accessories or packs of cards, so they don't feel like they got totally gypped out of their win. I also say you can only win the big prize once. So if you won game 2 of bingo, you can't win game 3 or game 4, but you can get a secondary prize. If they do actually win again, they get the secondary prize. I just have found that people who are winners win over and over and over again. For some reason, they are lucky, and I just wanted more people to win. So that was a rule that I put in place about 2 years ago, just for my own sanity. I wanted the most people to win. We play 2 games, and then I do 2 make and takes, and then we play 2 more games, and then I do 2 more make and takes, and then I have them come back to play 1 more game. And I try to make that prize, the last one, really good, just a little bit better than the others, so that they won't leave, so that they'll come back. I always type up a schedule and I post it, make sure they know how this is going to go. Sometimes games take longer, and sometimes they're shorter. So I always tell them, you know, I'm going to stick to this within about 5 minutes. Hopefully we'll stick to all of this. This also helps me remember to draw door prizes, because I forget to draw door prizes. But I put this up on our Facebook group ahead of time so that they know exactly how the night's going to go, in case they have other plans and they want to go do something else. I have found that with this kind of event, you have to communicate clearly. Your communication is essential for this event to take place effectively, and for them to all be happy with how things have gone. You want to remind them over and over that this is the internet and things could happen that are out of your control, that you're going to do your very best. You're going to, you know, make sure that everybody gets to play, hopefully, and that, you know, your hands are tied if something happens, the internet goes out. To just be patient. I find that if I say that ahead of time, if we do have any kind of technical glitches, they're prepared for it. They know, and they're patient. If they don't show up to play, if they don't log on at the time, I don't play their cards for them. I did that in the beginning. I would have my kids come in and play cards. That just got crazy, confusing. As my online bingo grew bigger, I found that I just couldn't manage that. So I say, you know, I've told you the time several times. It's your responsibility to show up and play. You've got to tell them when their package ships. So when their make and take package and their bingo kit ships from your house, send them an email, let them know it's coming. I ship everything in that flat rate envelope, so it's tracked, and it's hopefully supposed to be 2 to 3 days, so they can watch their mailbox. And then if it doesn't arrive, then you can email them those bingo cards. Let them know they'll need something to mark their card, because they're going to use those 2 cards the whole time. They're going to play those 2 cards on all 5 games. So they need pennies or beans or buttons or whatever to play their card. And I always tell them, you know, get a snack, get a beverage, get something fun to mark your cards, and tell your kids to go to bed, or, you know, something like that, because it's fun. This isn't a class. This is a fun event. You have to prepare way ahead of time, because you're having to ship things to people. You're going to need to give yourself about 2 weeks after registration closes. So you close registration 2 weeks ahead of the actual bingo date. That's going to give you 1 week to order and prep all your projects and their swag. And then another week, I try to give a whole week of shipping, because that 2 to 3 days from the post office is not, it's not reliable. I want to give it a full at least 5 or 6 days to get there. I expedite my order from Stampin' Up. When I order their swag and the stuff I need to prep, I expedite it. I pay the $20 to get it to me in 2 days. That just helps me kind of breathe and not feel stressed about the time, because I want it to, there's nothing I want more than to make sure that those kits ship in plenty of time for them to get there. So I always expedite my order. Make sure that you have set up the technology way ahead. Create your group. Send the invites as soon as registration closes, and keep tabs on who's joined and send reminders to those who haven't. There are some people who need 3 or 4 reminders to join that Facebook group, so make sure you've done that ahead of time. Now you want to make sure that you're keeping them updated. Let them know when their kits have shipped. Let them know, 2 days left, 1 day left, that kind of thing. You can keep them all updated on that through that Facebook group that you've created. It becomes a fun place where they share their excitement. I really like the fun that starts on that page. All right, now the make and takes. Of course, this is Stampin' Bingo, so we've got to do some stamping. I try to keep it simple. I only use one stamp set, or I say sentiments only. Use this time to show off other things, a beautiful paper, embellishments, die cuts, because not everyone will have the same stamps. If you use, 4, 5, 6 different stamp sets, they won't be able to make the make and takes. So I limit it to one stamp set, or I say we're going to just be stamping the sentiment. So you can use any sentiments, like a standard happy birthday or thank you. And then I let them know ahead of time what inks. I also, if I have planned my projects ahead, tell them what stamp set I'm using and give the option to add that onto their to-go kit. A lot of times they will add that stamp set on if they don't already have it. You want to pre-record your make and takes. I find this is very important. Instead of doing my make and takes live, I pre-record them and upload them to YouTube. And I also can upload them directly to Facebook or just post the link from YouTube onto Facebook so they can click over there. If they're going to make these make and takes later, they're not going to want to have to scroll through an hour and a half of Facebook Live to find the make and takes. That's why I have them stand alone. It also gives me kind of a 15-minute breather. I've done, 2 games, and now I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to go off of live. I'm going to upload the next video here, or here's the link to the next video, so that you can make your make and takes, and I'll be back in 15 minutes. It gives me a breather if I need to go to the bathroom or get a drink or deal with my kids or whatever. I just kind of like not keeping the Facebook Live going for that long. You want to type up a PDF with the photos of the projects, supplies that you've used, and add that link into that PDF because they'll use that PDF for future reference later on after that night is done. Package each project separately and keep it organized for them. So that night when they pull their kit out that you've shipped them, they can pull out each little bag or envelope of each project and not have to dig through all the supplies that are mixed up together. A few things to be aware of. There will be technical glitches, like I mentioned earlier. Just be ready for it and let your customers know it's bound to happen. You stay calm and work through it. If you stay calm, they're going to stay calm and they're probably not going to get upset. There will be multiple winners. I find that no matter how thoroughly I try to make those bingo cards as different as possible, I always have multiple winners. I give the prize to the first person to call bingo and then have a little selection of smaller prizes for those who came in second or third. I mentioned this earlier, but I think it's important for you to remember to have kind of a little, secondary basket of smaller prizes so they don't feel like they got gypped. Someone's package might not arrive in time. That's why you keep a copy of their cards. You can email it to them so that they can still play. I also cut a couple of extra of the make and takes just in case that does happen and I do need to replace the whole kit. I have that on hand and I can ship it to them. You will have some hard of hearing customers and you will have some technologically confused customers. There are always those people who don't know what's going on. They're trying to post bingo or questions on a different place in a different thread outside of the thread of where you're doing bingo. So be prepared. I have a customer also who is hard of hearing and she asks me every time, are you still going to show the numbers? Because I can't always hear what you say, but if I can see the numbers then I can play. So be prepared to accommodate for that. I think it's really important to get a helper at this event, maybe a downline member who is online with you that night, kind of keeping an eye on people and able to answer those people who are confused. Because if you're calling bingo numbers and you're trying to focus on that, you can't help Susie over here who's confused and doesn't know where the video is, or Sandra over here who doesn't understand how to play bingo. You need a helper who can kind of answer those questions while you're trying to do the whole thing and not stopping the whole event to help just one person. All right, when it's showtime, have fun. I love this event. It's different than a class or a workshop. It's fun. It's like a party. Show your face and chat with your customers a little bit at the beginning. Just remember to keep it fun. Try to stick to that schedule as close as possible. You don't want this to drag on, for hours. Keep it kind of short. An hour and a half, I think, is plenty of time. And if they are having fun, they're going to want to take online bingo with you again. So again, like I said earlier, you're going to go live for the first 2 games, then give 20 minutes for the 2 make and takes, and then repeat. So 2 games, 2 make and takes, 2 games, 2 make and takes, come back for that one last game. Be very prepared. Have everything within arm's reach. Write out that script for yourself so you remember everything you want to say. Have your supplies that you need ready to go. Make sure you follow through. Just like you would at a class or a workshop, give them a reason to order at the end, that call to action. All right, guys, the night is over. I appreciate you playing. And if you would like to order anything that we've used tonight or anything from the catalog, I have a special for you, a bingo night incentive. I offer them a free embellishment if they use a host code. And I usually have a handful of people who will take me up on that. Make sure you ship those prizes to the winners quickly. I make sure that I have them in the mail the very next day. That's very important. If they have to wait a month to get their prize, they're going to be kind of ticked off. So make sure you get those in the mail very quickly. Make sure to say thank you. I have a little graphic that I save that I put up at the end of the night, just telling them how thankful I am. They've trusted me to provide a fun event for them, and that I hope that they enjoyed it, and that I'm here if they have any further questions. Now, Rhonda and I had a great idea. What if we play online bingo so you guys can kind of get an idea for it? It's kind of hard to wrap your head around unless you see it. It's tricky, and it really is better understood if you've seen it in action. So, this Saturday night, I am going to do a live bingo on our Facebook group here for Creative Convention. It's going to be 8 o'clock Central. And right after that, we'll do Rhonda's chat. So join us for the whole evening. Not the whole evening. It'll probably be an hour. Our little bingo will probably only take 10 minutes. You need to get prepared, and you need a couple of things. So right here, I've typed up the address for you, and I'm going to show you how to make your own bingo card, okay? So you need to go over. If you're going to play bingo with me tonight, go over. Here's the website. It's actually a website I used when I was a teacher. I bet there are other bingo card generators online, but this is the one that I found quickly and I remembered using it, so this is what we're going to use. So when you type that address in, you're going to come to this website. You're going to click over here, the 5x5 number bingo card. Next, choose a theme. You can choose anything you want. These are just whatever, fun. Let's do ocean bingo. If you were doing something in the summer, you could make it thematic for your customers. You could do black and white or color. Click next for the whatever. You just really wanting a bingo card, but it's letting you customize it. Now you could type in different things. You could even do STAMP if you want, but we're going to stick with bingo, regular bingo, okay? So leave that there, and next print your card, and it'll say print a bingo card right here, and it's going to generate that card for you. So print it off so you have it tonight. Every time I click that print a bingo card, it actually gives me a different bingo card. So this is something you could do if you don't want to buy those bingo cards for your customers. You could actually generate all of them on this little website. It also will give you a call out sheet too, to help you remember what you've called out. You can cut this up, print, that's how he's doing the classroom. But I recommend you ordering those ones that look really good. So once you've got your bingo card, you guys come back to our Facebook group. I will be live. Make sure you've got something to mark your card with, buttons or, you know, pennies, whatever you want, and we'll play a game of bingo. And I do have prizes, okay? So if you guys are really interested to see how this works, I hope that you will join me tonight at 8 o'clock Central. That is 9 o'clock Eastern and 7 o'clock Mountain and 6 o'clock Pacific, I believe. I just quoted all that off the top of my head, but 8 o'clock tonight Central here on our, or over on our Facebook group. All right, so you guys go for it. Bingo is fun, and it's a really fun way to connect with your customers. This is just some screenshots from my last bingo I did of things that people were posting. Actually, this is from the time before, but they just love it, and they love when they get their kits and they post funny pictures and all the funny little gifts because they're so excited. So it's kind of a fun way to connect with your customers in a different fashion, and just have some fun. All right, you guys, I look forward to seeing you hopefully tonight in the online bingo. And please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.